Helmand Province, Afghanistan, February 2011. A British Special Forces unit conducts a night raid on a compound in the Nar-e-Sarraj district. By morning, 3 men are dead. The operational report filed afterward describes a firefight. It describes armed insurgents. It describes a threat neutralized. None of it is true. This is the story of what the SAS did in Afghanistan, who knew about it, and how far up the chain of command the silence went. The British Special Air Service is one of the most celebrated military units in the world. Founded in 1941, exempt from the Freedom of Information Act, beyond the reach of parliamentary scrutiny. Not even MI5, MI6, or GCHQ operate with this degree of protection from oversight. For decades, that protection was justified by the nature of the work. Covert, dangerous, deniable. The SAS were the people the government sent when no other option existed. In Afghanistan between 2010 and 2013, that protection became something else. It became a shield. The raids followed a pattern. Night operations, small units, compounds in Helmand and Kandahar targeted on the basis of intelligence assessments. The official purpose was to capture or kill high-value insurgents, Taliban commanders, bomb makers, facilitators. In the hours before dawn, British Special Forces would move through the darkness toward a target. They would breach the compound, and then, according to the men who were there, something would happen that was not in the mission briefing. Unarmed men were shot. Detainees with their hands bound were killed. In at least one documented case, children were among the dead. Then the paperwork began. Former SAS members told the BBC in May 2025 that their colleagues carried spare AK-47 rifles in their rucksacks specifically for this purpose. Folding stock Kalashnikovs. Easy to place. Photographed on or beside the body. The photograph becomes the record. The record becomes the report. The report says armed insurgent. The armed insurgent goes into the database. The database shows a successful operation. Operational reports were routinely falsified. Officers helped massage the language to avoid triggering mandatory military police referrals. We understood how to write up serious incident reviews so they would not trigger a referral, one veteran told the BBC. Inside the UK Special Forces headquarters in London, a senior officer was reading the post-operational paperwork from Afghanistan. His identity has been protected by the inquiry. He is known only as N1466. Between 2010 and 2011, he served as Assistant Chief of Staff Operations. His job was to review all Special Forces paperwork from active conflict zones. What he saw in the reports disturbed him. The pattern was visible to anyone who looked. The ratio of enemy killed to weapons recovered did not add up. The circumstances described in report after report shared the same structure, the same language, the same outcome. He consulted the senior legal advisor to UK Special Forces. The advice was clear. What he was reading likely necessitated a formal investigation. N1466 drafted a formal communication to the Director of Special Forces. He detailed his observations. He advocated for a deeper investigation. The response from higher command was dismissive. The internal review process did not lead to significant changes or acknowledgments of wrongdoing. Then the evidence began to disappear. Key data held at UK Special Forces headquarters containing allegations that soldiers had killed Afghans in cold blood was deleted from an IT system before military police could seize and examine it. The inquiry chairman, Lord Justice Haddon Cave, confirmed the data was wiped before investigators could access it. With independent help, the inquiry managed to obtain a backup copy. Another general knew. Gwyn Jenkins had been informed of claims that SAS soldiers had executed handcuffed detainees in Afghanistan. He did not report it. He locked the files in a safe. In May 2024, former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak appointed Jenkins as the United Kingdom's National Security Advisor. Prime Minister Keir Starmer subsequently cancelled his appointment. Operation Northmore was the Royal Military Police investigation into the alleged unlawful killings. It reviewed 3 of more than a dozen known fatal Afghanistan night raids. Many key suspects and witnesses were never interviewed. Drone footage was never examined due to what investigators were told were compatibility issues. Sir Jonathan Murphy, a decorated senior investigator brought in to advise on the probe, later described the entire inquiry as flawed and ineffective. He accused military leadership of deliberately narrowing its scope to avoid reputational damage. The families of the dead Afghans brought this story into the open. They hired lawyers. They talked to journalists. They waited years for anyone to listen. The BBC Panorama investigation in 2022 finally forced the government to act. A public inquiry chaired by Lord Justice Haddon-Cave was launched in March 2023. It is still running. Lawyers estimate there were more than 80 suspicious deaths across the period under investigation. The inquiry has heard testimony suggesting the number may be significantly higher. No member of the SAS has been charged with any offense in connection with the killings in Afghanistan. The operational reports describing the armed insurgents are still on file.